Okay, let's get into it. Every single year, Christmas seems to get a little bit extra, right? But lately, you've probably felt it too. It's like the whole thing has gone completely off the rails. So today, we're going to unpack what is going on, how we even got here, and why it feels like we're all caught in this crazy trap of festive spend.
I mean, it all starts with things like this. A TikTok creator unboxed a $26 light-up garland. It had miniature ornaments, and it was designed exclusively to decorate her Stanley water bottle. A water bottle. Yeah.
And trust me, it does not stop there. This year, people literally lined up outside at the crack of dawn, not for some hot new toy, but for tiny, miniature Trader Joe's tote bags to hang on their Christmas trees.
And then you have this. One creator drove 2 hours and dropped $700 on a designer gingerbread house. Why? Because it came from the same bakery the Kardashians use. A $700 gingerbread house that you can't even eat.
So all of this just begs the question, right? How did the holidays get so bizarrely expensive and just so weird? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. And spoiler alert, it is not an accident. It's a perfectly engineered storm of psychology, technology, and some really, really clever marketing. All right, first up, let's take a look at how Christmas has, well, kind of lost its mind. We're going to dive into some of the most absurd holiday products out there, because these aren't just quirky little one-offs. They're actually a symptom of a much bigger trend.
We are talking about $15 toppers for your lip mask that have zero function other than to look festive. Ornaments shaped like Ozempic needles, seriously. $80 advent calendars filled with little plastic bears that say F off. And even Starbucks is getting in on it, selling lid stoppers to solve a problem that nobody actually had. So how do these things go from non-existent to must-haves practically overnight?
So where is all this strange stuff coming from? Well, a lot of it is being powered by the social media machine. This isn't just random weirdness, it's a finely tuned engine designed to whip up an algorithm-fueled frenzy that turns holiday spirit into a whole lot of spending.
It really all comes down to that TikTok made me buy it feedback loop. Forbes actually called the app's design digital crack cocaine, and that's because it uses something called intermittent reinforcement. You just keep swiping, waiting for that next little hit of dopamine, and that hit might be a funny video, or it might just be the next product that promises to completely change your life.
And this machine is brilliant at creating these little micro-trends that make everything you already own feel totally obsolete. A perfect example is the Ralph Lauren Christmas trend. Creators take a classic style, they add a bunch of complicated, kind of arbitrary rules, and they establish what's called authority through complexity. All of a sudden, your traditional red and green decor just isn't good enough. You need their specific and usually more expensive version to do it the right way.
And, this points to something much deeper. We all crave community, what sociologists call third spaces. But as our gathering places have shifted online, we're not really sitting around a campfire anymore. We're gathering around a product. Connection itself has become tied to consumption.
But look, social media is only half the story. The reason it works so darn well is because retailers are pushing buttons that are already hardwired into our brains. They are using our own psychology against us.
First up, there's social obligation. You know this feeling. It's when a coworker gives you a gift and now you feel like you have to get them one back, probably one that's just a little bit more expensive. It stops being about generosity and becomes what one source calls an arms race with wrapping paper, and it's all driven by that fear of looking cheap. Then you've got nostalgia bias. Our brains have this funny way of editing our childhood memories, They cut out all the stress and the financial strain our parents probably felt, so now as adults, we spend recklessly trying to recreate this perfect photoshopped version of Christmas. And get this, research shows that parents overestimate how much their kids even remember specific gifts by a staggering 40%. And finally, there's guilt spending. This is that urge to make up for not being present enough throughout the year with one big morning of presents. All those marketing slogans like make up for lost time or they deserve the best, they're designed to poke at that exact emotional wound, turning Christmas into a really costly apology tour. Now, if those psychological triggers we just talked about are the fire, then buy now, pay later services are the gasoline. This whole financial tool has been engineered to make overspending feel completely frictionless.
So let's take this P. Louise makeup advent calendar. The price tag is a shocking £300. For most people, that's a hard no. It stops you right in your tracks.
But that's not how it's presented to you. The offer is framed as
just a few easy payments through services like Klarna. It's a classic psychological trick called decoupling. It completely separates the joy of getting the item now from the pain of actually paying for it, which comes much, much later. It hides the true total cost. And the consequences of this are very real. Studies show that 57%, more than half, of Buy Now, Pay Later users admit they bought something they couldn't actually afford, and nearly 1 in 5 say they've completely lost track of how much they even owe. The system is pretty much designed to make you lose sight of your financial reality.
But the cost isn't just financial. All of this stuff has to go somewhere. During the holidays, Americans generate an extra 1 million tons of household waste per week. That includes all the gifts wrap, the expired holiday snacks, and all that trendy low-quality decor that won't make it to next year.
It's no wonder all this leaves people feeling completely disillusioned. As one commentator put it, the magic of Christmas is gone. It has been obliterated. Now it's just slop, designed to be put on shelves for the sake of making money.
So, how do we break free from this trap? Look, the goal isn't to become a Scrooge and start hating Christmas. Not at all. It's about reclaiming the holiday by being more intentional and just being aware of all the forces at play. And you can outsmart the system with just a few simple rules. First, try the 24-hour pause. For any non-essential purchase over, say, $50, just wait a day. That gives that initial dopamine rush time to fade away and lets your logical brain catch up. Second, set clear boundaries before you even start shopping. A simple rule like one main, one useful, and one fun gift per person can stop those impulse buys and keep you focused.
Which really brings us to our final question. In a world that is constantly trying to sell you more and more stuff, what is the one thing that you can't just buy with a credit card or a Buy Now, Pay Later plan? Maybe, just maybe, that's where the real magic of the season has been all along.